Welcome back. Women's history continues. Righting wrongs, correcting legacies. I bet you know the name Bathsheba. What do you know about it? What did you hear about Bathsheba? Doesn't her name now bring up images of a temptress? Or like what was done to me, Mary Magdalene, a prostitute or whore? Have you read her story? That's what we're going to do. And did you know that she is the mother of the great King Solomon? Yes. And yet what do we hear about her? Not much that's good. But when we look in the Bible at Scripture itself, the story is there. In this case, you don't even have to read much between the lines. It is there. So this is a King James Version, 2 Samuel, chapter 11. In the spring, at the time kings go off to war, David sent Joab out with the king's men and the whole Israelite army. They destroyed the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah, but David remained in Jerusalem. One evening, David got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of the palace. From the roof, he saw a woman bathing. The woman was very beautiful, and David sent someone to find out about her. The man said, "She is Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, and the wife of Uriah, the Hittite." And then David sent messengers to get her. Get her. She came to him, and he slept with her. In parentheses, it says, now she was purifying herself from her monthly uncleanliness. So it wasn't even a time that she should have had sex. And let's talk for a minute before I go on to say, I've heard about the Me Too movement. Who had the power in that dynamic? Who is the peeper in that pair? But we hear great things about David, not so much Bathsheba. And she went back home, but the woman conceived and sent word to David saying, I am pregnant. So David sent his word to Joab, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent him to David. When Uriah came to him, David asked how he was and how Uriah was. Then David said to Uriah, go down to your home and wash your feet. So Uriah left the palace, and a gift from the king was sent to him. But Uriah slept at the entrance to the palace where all his master's servants did, and did not go down to his house. So David calls him and asks him the next day, calls him up and says, why did you not go to your house? And he said, because everybody else is still fighting and suffering. How can I go home and have food and wine and make love to my life when all my brethren are having such hardship? David tries one more time to get him to sleep with Bathsheba, to cover his tracks. And one more time, Uriah says, I can't, not while others are suffering. So David sends word for him to be killed. He lets Joab know to put him in the front of the fighting. He sends Uriah back, and Joab is instructed to send Uriah to the front and then desert him. And that's what happened. And Uriah dies. And as it says, Bathsheba mourned. She mourned. Why would she mourn if she was the adulteress wanting to be with the king? These names, it is a belief. It is a Jewish belief, Hebrew belief, that people, as long as we say their names, are remembered. Let us say the name Bathsheba and Hypatia and Hatshepsut and all the wonderful women who you know about already, who I'm sharing about, who have been wronged and deserve to be remembered. Let us say their names with love and respect. Bathsheba was wronged. Whether she was raped by David or lie with him consensually, she loved her husband. It was not equal power. More than likely, she didn't have a choice. And she gave birth to Solomon. Let us honor her sacrifice by remembering her with love and respect. Bathsheba. Go in peace. Love God and each other. Speak truth to power.